Okay, so I'll go through what tools I'm going to use that I've just gathered from home. I've got a hairdryer. I'll explain why you might use that shortly. And I've got 4 75-gram balls of white earthenware clay, but we might not use all of them. I've just got them prepared. I've got a jug of water, a couple of butter knives, a pencil, and a paintbrush, a small sponge, and then the rolling pin as well. And then I've also got just an empty pot, plastic pot, but it doesn't have to be plastic, it could be a bowl or whatever you've got to hand that can contain water and clay. Okay, so I'm just going to take one of the small balls of clay now to make the base of the bud vase, and you can either squish it down by hand or you can use the rolling pin. Don't go too thinly, so I'm just going to check the thickness of this. I'd say that's okay, you don't really want to go any thinner than that at this stage. And I'm just going to take the base of the yogurt pot or creme fraiche pot that you have got, or a bowl or a mug. We're just going to cut around. Okay, so that you can see it's still quite soft, so we need to firm that up a little bit. So I'm just going to put it to one side for now. Okay, so whilst we let the base firm up a little bit, we can concentrate on making our slip. This vase is going to be made from coils, which I'll demonstrate in a minute how to make. But in order to connect the coils with each other, you need some slip. Here I've just broken up some leftover clay that we had from the base, making the base of the vase, and I've just added a little bit of water, and then you just mix this up either with a spoon, your hands, or a paintbrush. It will take a couple of minutes until you get this consistency, which is like a yogurt slip, and this will help glue your coils together. So we're going to let the base firm up a little bit, and now we're going to build the bud vase using coils, and I'll demonstrate how you do that now. So take one of your balls of clay, and I'm just going to cut this in half. This is still quite soft, so just roll it in your hands first as a sausage, and you want a really gentle push. If you're too firm with when you're rolling this, then it will become quite flat-edged. And you need them to be as round as possible, really. So I'm just pushing my hands out gently, my fingers, to stretch out the clay. So I've rolled the coils out to about a 1 centimetre thickness, and we're now going to score the edge of our base in order to attach the first coil. So I'm just going to take the butter knife and just go around the edge. Then I'm going to take some of the slip that we used earlier and just dab it on here. So I'm just going to place our base just on a small piece of newspaper on this wheel, just so I can show you what I'm doing a bit easier. Okay, first of all, we're now going to attach the first coil. If you just firmly place it down, on the edge. Don't worry if it's not right on the edge, because we're going to tidy it up afterwards. And then you're going to score again. This is the way I've been taught. There's lots of different ways you can make coil pots. You don't even have to keep adding slip to each layer, but it's just the way I've been taught. So I'm just going to take the slip that we made earlier and just a little bit. You don't want to make it too wet. And you're firmly placing it down. Again. So I've scored again, and then we're going to take another coil and just get a little bit of slip, only a small amount. And again, I'm going to score. Don't worry if it's getting a little bit lopsided, because we can sort that out shortly. So I'm just going to press that on, and you can start going inwards now. So I'm just using my thumb and my middle finger to just firm down. Pinching inwards. Okay, so I've added some more coils up until here. Now, because I want to go inwardly in order to produce the neck of the vase, I've got to work on the inside to smooth it. So you can do that with your fingers. So you're just firmly, so if you make sure you hold the outside, just firmly press and smooth with your finger. So I'm pressing and also smoothing upwards. Just to make sure there aren't any gaps anywhere. We're now going to start going inwardsly because we want to make the neck of the vase. And in order to do that, you need to place them slightly, rather than on top like we were doing before, we're going to place it slightly inwardly. So I'm going to score kind of on the edge of the inside. I have given this a quick whiz with the hairdryer as well, just to firm it up a little bit, but you can just put it to one side to let it firm up really. If you use a hairdryer, don't over dry it because then the clay will start cracking. So I'm just gonna cut that off. And then the slip again. Just going to make this coil slightly thinner. And I'm going to start where the last one ended. And I'm just firmly placing it, following where I have scored and applied the slip, and we're going inwardly in order to get that neck of the vase. It's like a crosshatch scoring method. We're going in.